ki khubor ka Batesi TV. Lawan Rashapi ta ka Frank Motors. Ka Tata Safari ka SUV ka bapaw tam jong ka India minta kalami ha ka jinglong batmai ringkat bat khatsan teligi features baningkong e ha ka segment. La Plie ye ki booking but ya ki jing tip bakambnia one shaka Frank Motors lat ko ringi lani phone hau number hinyo not sausan ar not hinyo khanda hinyo lai.
And we hope that the brilliance from this lamp will usher in prosperity,
Myntri rangba ke jela Meghalaya ukonrat ke sangma haringkat ba Myntri Khynnah ke Sorkar Kmie ubepet ya ketenat kam jengok kai perthai Ushripar Yeshu Nayak kila Plie patba yak 11th edition jong International Tourism Month hak arphui terek unai wieng arajar arphulai Kene ke International Tourism Month kedai balai Sngi but on penkut hak arphulai terek unai wieng arajar arphulai yak bala penlong hak Larity International Center for Performing Arts and Culture Hakinik International Tourism Month lawan banyak shimbenta langru deki hek Sorkar neki jela jongkat hanchete lamingi bat kumjuru ki samla puli. Habakran hak jingalang ukon rak sang mau lepen pau baka kam jungok kai perthai ke dek we neki lar ke balak ban ai kam ai jam yaki khon samla man usnem bat ka kam jungok kai perthai ke dek we ke bekentiu ya ke yok ke kot jong ka jela.
This is my public number. It's okay.
Escape space.
बनाया आप यहाँ देखिए सारा सामान जो है इसका पैकेजिंग बहुत अलग तरीके से हो रहा है जो पहले जैसे होता था ऐसा नहीं उसके अलावा ये जो पॉट्स देख रहे हैं आप ये एक लोकल आर्टिस्ट ये देखिए सामान ये देखिए मैं पैकेजिंग ऐसे होता है पहले तो प्लास्टिक में जो कैंडल्स जलाकर वो करते थे हम लोग यस उसको अंदर बिगड़े नहीं
The objective of organizing this annual tourism mart is to showcase the untapped potential of the region, both in domestic and international markets, to promote tourism and to promote sustainable tourism, which is one of the major themes underlying our effort during this edition of ITM 2023. I'm very, very happy to share with you, friends, that the response we have received has been very, very encouraging. I understand we have 28 international delegations from 18 countries today. We also have 50 buyers from different parts of the country. These include tourism professionals, opinion makers, tour operators, and representatives from the hospitality industry as well. This demonstrates a growing interest for travel to the unexplored destinations of the country. Nothing more need to be said about the beauty and the richness of the culture, heritage, nature of the Northeast region. This is endowed with diverse tourist attractions. Our effort in the Ministry of Tourism, where we really want to work in close collaboration with the state governments, is to make this offering as diverse as possible and not restrict to one category. It's not just adventure tourism, it's not just eco, there's much more to Northeast. So we are keen to look at cultural, spiritual, heritage tourism, eco, rural tourism, just being here in the pristine hills is itself a great experience. So I think the effort on our side is also to work on different aspects of tourism and give it as a bouquet to the visitors. One aspect, Honorable CM Sir, which we really want to be emphasizing from the Government of India, is Northeast as a region has taken a lead in terms of sustainable tourism and also being extremely conscious about the adverse effects of tourism, if any. So there are lessons which we really want to learn from Northeast and take it to different parts of the country, and equally be sensitive to the very fragile environment here, so that we develop tourism as a sustainable and a green tourism model, especially in this region. And we hope we'll be able to make much better strides than what we already are. Tourism in Northeast has developed phenomenally today thanks to the major increase in connectivity. From whatever I hear and understand, it's really improved a lot. But there's always a scope to do something better, so we are in the process of doing so. And our Honorable Prime Minister has always been encouraging to say that we should be looking at Northeast as one of the major focus regions, and we are inspired by his vision and his direction in this regard.
पर्यटन हमारे देश की जीडीपी में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान देता है, लाखों लोगों के लिए रोजगार भी निर्माण करता है। भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था में विकास टूरिज्म बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाता है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सत्ता लेने के बाद तुरंत ही नॉर्थ ईस्ट के ऊपर अपना ध्यान केंद्रित किया, और नॉर्थ ईस्ट का जिस तरह से विकास आप लोग देख रहे हैं, वो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का सपना है।
Tourism sites, heritage tourism sites, eco-tourism sites. So what I meant was that we will have to be looking at the entire offering which the Northeast has, and not just restrict to one category or one bucket of food. Sir, would you want to add something?
No, actually, what you've mentioned is absolutely a part of the strategy for every state. So I think what we are trying to do here is more of a general vision, policy, and trying to bring different stakeholders together. Specific strategies of different locations will be state specific. So that's what it is, and definitely I think in every state there are these USPs, there are these aspects of religious and spiritual aspect. So all these will be explored, and I think every state will have their own strategy. But I don't think there's any plan right now to specifically identify those specific locations in this particular tourism mart that we're having right now. A generic policy to ensure that these kind of heritage sites are promoted from a tourism aspect is definitely part of the overall strategy. But as I said, it's not that we are sitting today to go into specifics. I think what is important today to realize is that we are bringing the different stakeholders together and really trying to discuss and connect different dots together out here. So that's really what the purpose of today's program is. But having said that, I think your point that you're saying about heritage and the aspect of linking that is absolutely there. The site that you're saying, the assembly site, in fact, you're aware that the assembly got burnt almost about 20 years back, and therefore there is not much left of it. But we have not touched it in any way, if you realized and if you noticed, and we have left it as it is right now because we had to function some of the assembly work from there. But as soon as we shift from there to the new assembly site, which the construction is going on, you must have seen along the way, by September 2024, we expected to inaugurate it. So definitely we have a plan along with the speaker to have a small museum or some kind of a site there where we could have some section of that area, maybe not the whole area in that. So like that, yes, there are many other sites, not just in Shillong, not just in Meghalaya state, but all over the Northeast and all over the country. So definitely heritage tourism is definitely part of the strategy overall for our state and for many other states.
Are you saying you're going to open it for people, sir?
There's not much left, sadly. That's what happened. It's got burnt quite a lot. But we will see how far we could preserve whatever is left and have some kind of museum and experience for the people. Because it was the assembly that was used before during the undivided Assam time when Shillong was the capital. So it has a lot of history. Our Raj Bhavan has a huge history because it was built during the early British time. Like that, the Rabindranath Tagore, the house is there, the museum is there, and the hall is there. So there's this, like that, there are so many other sites of heritage tourism. No, you're absolutely right. That's always been the the question that has come forward in terms of development, economy, and balancing with ecology and environment. So this has been always the question for all sectors, not just for tourism. But yes, tourism, we have been, as a state, we've been focusing on ensuring that there is a sense of sustainable tourism and a concept of eco-tourism. And we are ensuring that from our side, policies are being created where the weight or the pressure or the footprints, as you call them, on certain locations. Like, for example, we have been discussing about our living root bridges. So, we have hundreds of people stepping on it every day. So therefore, we need to control that, and we are doing it now. And we're talking with the villagers. Ours is a community-based, system where the community is very heavily involved. And hence, we need to work with them. It's the community that owns the land out here. So therefore, there's a very strong sense of community participation. And that is an important part of our strategy. And so when we involve the community, we ensure that we do whatever we can to manage. And our strategy also has been going towards a niche tourism, towards a tourism where we try to reduce the numbers, increase the experience, and increase the value overall spent by a tourist out here. So this has been a proactive step by the work that we've been doing. But as I said, it's not always possible for us to control it the way we would want to. But that is definitely one of the visions and the goal with which we're moving forward. Focusing on our strengths. So we know that music is a strength for us. The natural beauty that we have in terms of the waterfalls, the different forest areas is a strength for us. So we develop our strategy around that. That's number one. Number two, regarding the festivals, if you've seen, every year the festival is getting bigger. So if you ask any of the people who have been to the festivals, this time I think over about 50,000, 60,000 people were there. And maybe more than 50% were from outside the state. So we're getting the exact numbers going out here. But for the first time, if you noticed, our marketing was very aggressive. We marketed in Delhi airport, in Kolkata airport, even in Mumbai airport. So marketing has been very, very aggressive compared to what it was done before. But the festivals will grow. It takes time. It has to become a calendar event. It has to move forward. This is most probably only the third or the fourth time that we're having this. Yeah, third time that we're having the cherry blossom. So keeping that factor in mind, I feel we have moved quite forward. Today, cherry blossom has become almost like a national calendar event, and we hope that maybe in a couple of years' time, we'll have a much bigger festival, and we'll have much more participation from outside.
We can assure you, our Prime Minister is very keen to have this northern eastern state, and जो कुछ हमारे पास है वो हम अच्छी तरह से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट का विकास करने के लिए आगे बढ़ें.
I would like to simply stress on few of the points and continue on a few of the points that were mentioned by our Secretary and by our Honourable Minister, and link it to what the states in the Northeast are trying to do. First of all, the kind of economic growth that we are seeing in the Northeast is unprecedented. In the last many years, the kind of support that has been seen by the Honourable Prime Minister, Government of India, and the different ministries has been unprecedented. There is a very, very strong and special focus to ensure that the Northeast states move together with the rest of the country and ensure that economic development reaches in this region. So whether it's for infrastructure development, whether it's for youth-oriented programs, whether it's for the agriculture sector, or whether it's for a socio-economic sector like tourism, there has been tremendous support from Government of India. And I do take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and the entire government machinery for having given the kind of attention to the Northeast in the last many, many years and bringing Northeast as a whole into the overall economic map of our nation. As a state, we have been working towards ensuring that we work with a very, very focused approach in the way that we are moving forward. We have been very, very clear in our agenda on the areas that we feel we need to push. For example, obviously, infrastructure vertical is very crucial for us. But while we push the infrastructure vertical, we realize that the large amount and number of population of our state is agro-based, and hence agriculture needs to be pushed. At the same time, we do realize that as a state, we have large number of youngsters. You'll be surprised to know that for a small state like ours, which is a population of 3.8 million people, we have roughly about 80,000 youths, roughly plus minus. And these numbers will keep growing as we move ahead in the future. And hence, all governments in the Northeast and the country as a whole face a tremendous challenge of creating job opportunities for this young population that we have. And hence, tourism is one sector that can ensure that we're able to create that kind of opportunity for our youth. And that is why, as a state government, tourism has been one of the main pillars of economic policy and program for our state government. And while we do that, we have also realized that we cannot copy a policy from another part of the country and try to do what other states are doing or other countries are doing. We need to ensure that our policy is tailor-made to the strengths of our state. It is made based on the competitive advantages or the kind of different USPs that we have and develop on those. And while we develop on the USPs, we need to ensure that we involve the community in whatever we do. And most importantly, while we are focusing on economic development and tourism, we need to ensure that we take care of the environment and the ecology also. So a very balanced approach is how we are moving forward. And hence I was sharing with our Honorable Minister and with our Secretary that for Meghalaya, we have been focusing on different kind of strengths and different experiences that tourists can have in our state. For example, the caves that we have. We have one of the longest caves in the country today. And these caves can be of great experience for the tourists who come from different parts of the world. So hence, we need to focus on these. We need to focus on the natural treks that we have, the different kind of flora and fauna that we have. I was just sharing with our Secretary that we as a state government want to work with Assam government to see how we could protect our elephants. We have one of the largest population of elephants in the entire Asian continent. And hence, can we have an elephant corridor permanently marked, which could also serve as a tourism destination where people can come and experience and see the elephants, and at the same time, the elephants and human beings can live in peace and harmony. These are the kind of ideas that we need to work on. We have some mines out here where there were some cement factories. Can we change those mines where the mining for limestone used to be done and convert that into a museum, so that that museum will be an experience of what used to be mines before, but now we have converted into a sustainable way of earning revenue and creating jobs. These are the kind of ideas which could come up in many, many parts of Northeast, because your Northeast is very diverse. And hence I hope that during the course of the next 3 days, we will be able to discuss these aspects, get a niche, work on special experiences, and see how we can collaborate with each other, work with each other, keeping in mind the larger, the tourists in mind from the rest of the country. So we have roughly about 21 million tourists who go outside to other parts of the world and experience tourism outside. And these are all mostly high-end tourists. Can we figure out a way of getting these tourists back here to our country and try to see how Northeast India can give with the experience that they have in maybe the European nations and different parts of Europe. And I think this kind of thinking and thought process, quality, infrastructure, the ecosystem, and most importantly, manpower. Because you remember, tourism, no matter how good your hotels are, if you are not hospitable, if you're not good to the tourist will go back with a very bad experience.